Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at the Grand Seiko SBGA248, and this is the 2023 Ginza limited edition. And right off the bat, I want to show you guys this new box. So usually the Grand Seiko boxes, they have like these silver lines going across the edges right here, and this is kind of engraved, but on this box, it's missing the silver lines and it's no longer engraved, it's kind of just printed on top now. All right, so let's get to it. And this is the inside. So you can already tell right off the bat that this Grand Seiko box feels much lighter and it's a little bit smaller than the usual one. It's kind of like a rectangle shape. The old ones were kind of square and they were big and bulky. And this one also looks like it's a slightly more royal blue than navy than they usually are, but I could be wrong. Anyways, looks like Grand Seiko's also following the way of other watchmakers in terms of becoming more economical friendly and reducing their carbon footprint and just making smaller boxes overall. So you still have the rice paper, but it's just over this little pouch thing like this. So you can kind of just pick this up out of here. Inside, you'll have that little cloth and this little plastic tray. This looks like kind of like a cardboard, not plastic actually. Yep, looks like a recycled cardboard material, regardless paper material. And this tray was in here that holds the watch box. And then you see this little other box, and this is where the watch box resides. This watch also comes with a spare strap, which is right here. We'll take a look at that later. And this is the documentation. So in here, I believe is the warranty coverage. There's a limited warranty card. And you can see right here, it says Grand Seiko Flagship Boutique Ginza. Since this is a Ginza limited edition, this booklet is just a description of the warranty and this little pamphlet, and inside here it's a little maintenance support folder, and there's just a maintenance information card in here. And same thing here, just says Grand Seiko Flagship Boutique Ginza, and that is the only place you can purchase this watch, like I said, because it's a Ginza limited edition. All right, so let's take this rice paper off. Grand Seiko signature, and here's the watch box, guys. Very small, and it reminds me of the IWC watch box that we just saw. Small little pouch, feels really good. I felt this before, and it's really supple and soft leather. Little button to open it there, and box made in Japan. Ooh, so unlike IWC, which sourced to Italy for their leather, Grand Seiko likes to keep everything in-house, and nice stitching, all the detailing, everything looks really high-end, and it's a very nice design, kind of reminds me of a little sushi roll. All right, so let's open it up. There's the watch, guys. Stunning. And I like this as a huge improvement over the previous boxes, which had kind of like this, almost like a silk material. I feel like this is much softer and better for the watch to sit on as well. So here it is, guys. This is a limited edition that is limited to only 70 pieces, and it was only in the Ginza boutique, the flagship store where you could purchase this. And this is their pink Kirazuri dial. And the pink is very faint, but as you guys know, all Grand Seiko pink dials are kind of like that, where it's only pink in a certain light, and it mostly just looks silverish or whitish almost. So really cool dial nonetheless. Kirazuri, old big flake Kirazuri. So it's not like the new Frost. This is the thicker, chunkier Kirazuri texture, like the very first Kirazuri watch, the blue one from 2017 or 18, that one, but really nice. And the pink is supposed to represent the apricot blossom, which are the trees that grow in the Nagano prefecture, where this watch was actually produced and where they make many other Grand Seiko watches. So really cool. And it has like little detailing with the red second hand, the red spring drive power meter, and as well as, if you look really closely around the chapter ring, all the little indices are red, and even the spring drive logo is red. The GS logo at the top is gold, so really cool contrast. You got a completely polished case, so this is part of their elegance collection, so it's their dressier side. So everything is polished. You can tell from the case shape that it's not one of their sporty or heritage models, so it's really cool. Standard Grand Seiko steel bracelet, completely steel watch, see-through display case back with the beautiful spring drive movement. Right there it says Wako limited edition. So the Wako limited edition is extremely limited always. So I'm sorry, this is not just a Ginza, this is a Wako limited edition. The Ginza will also be coming out soon, but Wako is always separate from the Ginza releases, and it's always more limited than the Ginza releases. So very cool. I mean, only 70 pieces, so this is going to be an extremely rare piece. And I love those raised indices. They just have like a 3D effect. They're very chunky and thick and tall, and you can see all the polishing on them. Just amazing. Really like that. Overall, just a very beautiful watch. Looks very classy and elegant, and I think it's definitely a special watch. And it also comes with a leather strap as well. So this is a dark gray color. The backside is a red, but so this is the strap that would go on this watch. So yeah, it goes pretty well. With this kind of color, you'd want to get a gray or brown or even tan strap. So cool strap. I think this is actually the same exact color that the Grand Seiko Frost came with. I also wanted to compare this against the original blue Kirizuri, and you could see they both have the exact same pattern. Obviously not 100% exactly the same, but I mean the same type of pattern. And this one's a light blue and this one's a light pink. And I think they both go very well together. It's almost like a perfect duo. They're both part of the Elegance collection too. So they're the dressier side. And I put this one on a strap because I personally thought it looked better on the strap. This one I might decide to put on the strap as well. Just both very beautiful pieces. Different case shapes, but similar dials. And they both have pretty big dials, I would say. I think the blue one's just slightly bigger, but it just could be my eye. I think they might be exactly the same dial size. And the indices look exactly the same. So I think they are exactly the same. Another detail you'll notice is the spring drive power meter. The power reserve on the front of the dial. The new one does not have that kind of cut into the dial look, and the meter is like a new design as well. You can see it almost looks like a rev counter on a car, and the old one kind of had this gradual increase in size with the little lines, the hashes. So that is very different. I also love how the blue one has a royal blue second hand and the pink one has a red second hand. They're almost like the opposite side of the spectrum, like nighttime, daytime. Really cool. I think they belong in a collection. These are like the perfect two watches to come in the Kirizuri pack, I would say. If these two sold side by side, I'm pretty sure they would both sell out instantly. I think this is the second Kirizuri in this style that Grand Seiko has ever done. I don't think I've ever seen another big flake Kirizuri, kind of like this original one. Now with this Wako Ginza limited edition. Unfortunately, 70 pieces, a very low production run for this watch, but if you happen to get your hands on it, consider yourself very lucky because this is a very special watch. So really quick, I actually wanted to compare it to the Spring or the Shunbun, the original pink Grand Seiko right here, which gained a lot of popularity. And right here you could tell they're actually very similar color, if not exactly the same shade of pink. And you know, when you see them at an angle, you can see the pink a little more. And they're both like a silvery whitish dial, which looks pink under just the right light. And I will say, because the Wako limited edition is completely polished and steel, it appears a lot brighter than the Shunbun because of its titanium and its dark finish. So this one actually looks very shiny and very elegant. This one has like a chunkier, sporty appearance, but very nice to see them side by side. Let me know what you guys think. Which pink watch would you prefer? And I gotta say, right off the bat, you can see the difference in the hour markers. I much prefer the thicker hour markers of this one because you can see the finishing and you can just see the raised, polished surfaces a lot better on this one. And it just kind of pops out and plays with the light just a little more. These are thinner and lower, so even though they look really nice and they are polished, you just don't get that same effect like this one. But they're both very nice, and I think just comes down to preference. All right, let's get this one on wrist and see how it fits. This one with the bright, thick indices and just the wide dial just looks like an overall slightly bigger watch. I think it looks really cool, and it has a nice domed almost box, but looks more like a domed crystal, sapphire crystal there, and you can kind of see the dome effect right there as well. But yeah, really cool. Adds on to the slightly vintage, kind of pays homage to the older Grand Seikos and kind of what they always stood for. I always said that these Grand Seikos are just modern interpretations of the older Grand Seikos, which were all dress watches. They're just on steel bracelets instead of leather straps, but otherwise it's the essence of the same brand and same kind of watches that have always been around since the 60s. And the overall finishing of this watch looks really nice. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the finishing on the bracelet for this one is slightly nicer than the previous Grand Seikos which I've had and reviewed. Nonetheless, really cool. All right guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, I'll see you guys next time.